Hey guys, my name is Hannah and I would say, let's have some fun today. So, today I want to talk with you about my favorite topic because what I love the most about makeup in general, I think, is without a doubt eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows in general. I love everything about makeup, don't get me wrong, I love to do my base, but when I really think about it and when it comes down to it, the favorite thing ever for me, and I think will always be eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows. So yeah, today I want to talk with you about some eyeshadows that I'm eyeing, some eyeshadow palettes that I'm eyeing, that are maybe a little bit older, but I can't get out of my head. And yeah, I just want to do a little bit of a shady video with you together. There are so many palettes that I want, guys. If I could, I would have every palette that are crossing my mind. Maybe sometimes not, because maybe it's sometimes also a little bit overwhelming. And don't get me wrong, I have times in the year where I really don't feel like buying any palette at all, and I really enjoy the palettes that I have. But then there are always a time period in the year where I really want every palette I have to feel that I see and that's looking beautiful to me. So there are ups and downs for me in that sense, you know, there are never ups and never downs. It's just makeup, it's just eyeshadow palettes. But I mean in that sense that I really can't control myself when it comes down to it. When I'm being honest with myself, I really need to stop myself and say, okay, you bought that many palettes that month, now slow a little bit down maybe the next month, or you know what I mean. So in that sense I really need to remind myself to take a deep breath sometimes and not buy everything I'm seeing and I'm eyeing. But yeah, that's the good part about it sometimes as well. Then you have a wish list and can wish for them, or you can still longing for some things that you want and are really happy when you can buy it and it's fulfilling your dreams sometimes. Sometimes it's not, you know, then you get also sometimes reminded that what you have is enough and it's beautiful. But sometimes it also reminds you how much fun makeup can be. So to not get, you know, there was a time period also when I think about it where I bought really many palettes at once and I was a little bit overwhelmed and didn't felt the joy anymore with palettes. So I think to keep a good balance is the key to enjoy the thing that you are doing. Makeup is really, for most of us that are looking those type of videos, a passion, a little bit an outlet maybe also for our creative selves, and this is something I really enjoy and love about makeup. So today I really want to talk to you just a little bit about makeup, about eyeshadows, about the things that I'm really passionate about. And there are some palettes that I'm eyeing here and there, so if you are curious, keep watching and let's get started. So the first palette I'm eyeing, or should I say palettes, because there are a little bit more of the same brands here and there. Let's see how I will do that. But the first palette is from Tom Ford and is the Violet Satin or Satine palette. Guys, I can't get this one out of my mind. I talked to you about really shortly in my Pat McGrath ranking video about this palette, that I have this one in my mind right now. And I really think it's such a beautiful palette. It's so stunning. And I saw some videos with this palette and I think really truly that it's a beautiful and nice palette. I love the curation. I love that you have a really deep shade to deepen everything up. Of course, my favorite shade, I think, in this palette is this glittery type of, yeah, almost lilac-y silvery shade that you have in there. I think it's so beautiful looking. And this is really a palette from Tom Ford I can't get out of my mind. I really try to sometimes, but at the end I always going back and looking at the same makeup videos about this palette because I think it's so beautiful. Maybe it will land someday in my collection, but you know, the thing with some Tom Ford palettes are that they are mostly, or most of the time in the moment, limited edition palettes, and so it's really hard to, yeah, get a hold of them. And I have one retailer, I think right now, that is from Germany, where I can get this palette. And of course Tom Ford's website maybe also still have this palette, but yeah, you know, this is something that's sometimes a little bit hard, or you really get maybe FOMO that you can't get some palettes of him, and this is something I don't really like. I don't like that feeling of, will I ever get this palette? Let's do it now before it's too late. And I don't like that feeling sometimes, you know, so I will chill a little bit about it, think about it, and if it's there, and then I will maybe pick it up. But if not, you know, just that you know that I think it's a really beautiful palette, and then I hope that he will bring maybe out something similar to this one in the near future. We will see. The next one is also from Tom Ford that I wrote down, and it's those cherry palettes that he brought out. You know, guys, I really love red. I really love the color red on my eyes. I don't wear it that often though, to be honest, but I think it's a beautiful color to wear. You know, it's really romantic and really mysterious also on the same time. And yeah, I really love that tones, and especially the Cherry Smoke and Electric Cherry palette that he brought out. I think they are beautiful, and I really love those tones. I love that the Cherry Smoke, it's a little bit darker, like the name is implying, and the Electric Cherry, it's a little bit lighter and friendlier in the red tones that are in there. So I think it's a good variety in the palettes that you are getting. I have to say, I really can imagine those palettes to be one big palette, because I think they would really play nice together in that sense. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that I would grab both. At least right now I wouldn't. Maybe if they are on a real good discount and on a good sale, then I would grab both. You can bet on it. But in the moment, I would be really happy with just one of them. If I had to decide, maybe I would go more for the Electric Cherry, because in the moment I really like to wear more those lighter kind of shades on my eyes. Today I went with these tones on my eyes, but originally I had also a little bit of that brown that you see over here on my lower lash line, but then I decided to wear something blue, and I really wanted to include a little bit of a smoky blue. This is the reason for that, but normally I really like in the moment a little bit lighter looks. And yeah, this is because I think I would go more for the Electric Cherry palette. But all in all, I think both palettes are stunning. I just quickly want to show you guys, I have some reddish tones in some Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona palettes, but when it really comes down to it, I really have just one palette that is really red themed, and this is my ColourPop Cherry Crush palette. And the reason I didn't bought me until now the Cherry collection from Tom Ford is because of this palette right here. I think this palette is giving me so similar vibes to both of those palettes. This is like you take both of those palettes and put it in this one and make a good mixture of both in one beautiful little palette right here. I really love it. I really love especially those, yeah, metallic-y shades. They are not that glittery, but I also think that they are not that glittery in the Tom Ford palette. At least I had the feeling when I saw some videos on this palette, or on those palettes, I have to say. I think they're really similar in tone and also in undertone, and also with the glittery effect that it's giving us, you know? And this is really the reason why I didn't bought me those palettes, because I really think I have the feeling I have similar colors in this palette right here. And I need to be honest, guys, you know, I really like reds, but I wear it so occasionally. This palette is mostly never getting use out of me, or at least really rarely. And yeah, this is because I think until they're not really on a deep discount, I won't get them, but I'm really eyeing them and I think they're beautiful and stunning palettes. Okay, the next palette or palettes that I wrote down, I think here I also will show you both at the same times, are the Pat McGrath Holiday 2022 mini palettes that she brought out. And she brought out the mini Bronze Bliss palette and the Nude Allure palette. Beautiful quints, beautiful, beautiful quints. I can't get them out of my mind. You can't get them anymore on the Pat McGrath website, but here in Germany I still can get them. I know, it's a miracle. They are fairly new here. For Pat McGrath palettes to get here to Germany, to the German retailers, it really takes some time. I won't lie to you. So those are fairly new in Germany. You can get them right now here. So I saw so many videos with those palettes, guys, and I think it's beautiful. I have a big mega palette, and one of those palettes I already bought me because I couldn't resist. I thought they are so stunning, so beautiful, and I think you can guess it a little bit. I got the palette that got the most positive reviews and where the reviewers had the feeling that it's a little bit more unique to her line, and I think this is the same what I was feeling at that time, that this palette is a little bit more unique. So the palette I got for myself is the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette in Bronze Bliss. This one right here. I used it just once, but I really want to use it a little bit more. The last time I used it, I used a little bit of this chalky, grayish, blackish shade on the outer portion of my lid and put this shade right here called Bronze Illusion just all over my front part area of the lid and also down here on my lower lash line and called it a day. It looked beautiful. And this one I put a little bit in my inner corners, the shade Nude Moon. I loved it. I think this palette is so beautiful, so creamy. I will show you a little bit of some shades. Let's watch all of the creamy shades. Look how beautiful they are. They are a little bit more crumbly, I have to say, but once you apply them, they are getting so beautiful and creamy. I will show them to you guys. I think they're so stunning. Look at this shine. Look at this beautiful wetness that you get out of it. I'm not regretting it, really, guys. I think it's beautiful and stunning. Beautiful, beautiful palette. Nude Allure can wait. If it's gone, it's gone. I told myself, because I'm really happy right now with Bronze Bliss. I don't have the feeling I need any more. But, you know, if there is some money left for palettes to spend on, maybe if I have the feeling I want it, I will get it if it's there. So both of those palettes are beautiful, and I'm happy that I bought me Bronze Bliss and that I can play a little bit around at least with this one. And like I said, it's beautiful. I don't regret it. It's a really reddish kind of eye that you will get with it. And the pigmentation is also chef's kiss. So that's that. So the next one is also Pat McGrath palette, and it's a Celestial Divinity Luxe Quad in Interstellar Icon. It's this one. And with this one I have a little bit of history, you know. If you are long enough on my channel, you maybe, heard about this little instant of mine. Initially I should have gotten this one for Christmas in 2022, but sadly, the package was stolen and I never got the quad for myself. I was really devastated, a little bit heartbroken, but then I got the Moonlit Seduction instead, and yeah. Guys, you know how much I love this palette. It was number 2 in my ranking, so I think this is saying everything. But of course, I never forgot about this quad. I really think it's a beautiful and stunning quad, and I'm a little bit sad that it didn't get to me, because I think in the long run I would have gotten me the Moonlit Seduction palette anyways, and it would have been really nice to also have the Interstellar Icon palette in my collection. You know, I looked a little bit around and I can still get it at my Sephora in Germany. So maybe I will get it sometime for me, but you know, I'm step by step, everything step by step. But you know, I really feel that the feeling of this palette is never clinging down. I always want this palette and I'm always longing for it somehow because I'm a sucker for blue. There's also really beautiful cherry-like brownish red tone in it that's a little bit more on the satiny side. Also looking stunning. The whole palette is really beautiful and cohesive in my eyes, so yeah. Would be really happy to have this maybe sometime or someday in my collection, but until then I'm watching it from afar and from a distance and longing a little bit longer for it. But maybe, yeah, maybe sometime or someday I will have it in my collection. Okay, the last Pat McGrath palette that I'm eyeing right now and that I'm thinking a little bit more of in the moment. You know, guys, there will always be many Pat McGrath palettes I want because I think her formulation, her quality, her aesthetic is priceless, is beautiful. It's my favorite brand of all time. And the palette that I'm also eyeing is her Bridgerton collab. I have one of her Bridgerton collab. I have the Diamond of the First Water palette, but I really also want the Belle of the Ball palette that she brought out at the second launch with Bridgerton. And yeah, I think it's beautiful. What can I say? I just love Pat McGrath. I love everything. It's a little bit of a redundant palette if you want it like that, but just the look of it, just the feel of it, just how it's looking aesthetically, you know, I want it. I can't help myself. I know it's a little bit silly maybe, but I think it's just beautiful and I somehow still want this palette. Okay, the next palette that I want, we are done with Pat now, and the next palette I just wrote down Dior quints. So I think this is telling you that I just want some more Dior quints. To be honest, I bought me one not that long ago. I also filmed a video with it, but I didn't put it up yet. Maybe it will come before this video or it will come after this video. So it could be you saw this video already, or it could be it will come out, or we will see. But it's this one right here that I bought myself. It's a velvet Dior quint and it's the shade 869 Red Tartan. I think it's beautiful. It's really stunning. I will show you two colors so that you can see a little bit how it's looking. I think it's a beautiful and stunning palette. I love that it's, you know, I'm the shimmery type of girl, but somehow they are drawing me in with those, yeah, velvety shades that they have in here. I think they are so glossy looking almost on the eyes, so I'm really a big fan of those velvety shades, but I also really want one of those OG quint palettes that I have, that they are in the permanent line, you know. I think they are so beautiful and I really want some of those. In the moment I'm really eyeing the, how is it called, Tutu palette and the, was it Nude Dress? I'm not sure. No, it was the, the Nude Dress is also beautiful, but I think I was eyeing more the Soft Glam or something like that. Soft Cashmere. It's the Soft Cashmere palette. This is the other one I'm really eyeing right now. I think they are looking so beautiful. And I also heard that the Tutu palette is a little bit similar to the Tom Ford Violet Satiné palette, and this is maybe also why it's drawing me a little bit more in. And yeah, those are the two palettes I'm really eyeing, but in general I really want to try a little bit more Dior quints. I love their quints somehow. They're a little bit more lighter and ethereal on the eyes, but I don't know, I really like them. I love them. But this one, we will get there when I talk in my video about this palette with you together. But this is a palette that's a little bit more bolder, I have to say, the Red Tartan. But all in all, their palettes are a little bit more, not light, but in a way, always more sophisticated looking, and I really like that. I think they're so beautiful and stunning. Oh, another one that I'm really eyeing that I never can forget, and I maybe will someday have, because in some retailers I still can get this one, and it's from their, what was it called, the collection? The Birds of Feather collection. And I have the Nightbird one from this collection, but I also really want the Early Bird. I wrote it down because I always forget names. I really also want the Early Bird quint from them. I think it's looking just so stunning. So stunning, guys. You can tell me what you want. I think it's a beautiful palette, and this is also one I really can't get off my mind. So yeah, maybe. Like I told you, on some retailers I still can get it, so we will see about that. Okay. There are also two brands that are new to me in that sense. I never tried them, but I always have them in my mind. The first one is Rowan. I really want to try someday a Rowan palette. I think they're looking so beautiful and stunning, and it's exactly those types of formulations that I'm into right now. A little bit more glossy, glittery, but in a light and ethereal way. Really love that, and I really want just to try a Rowan quad. I don't know exactly which one. I have some in my mind that are looking beautiful. I will pull maybe 2 pictures here of 2 Rowan quads that I think are the most aesthetically pleasing for me, that I would want to try out. But you know, in particular, I think every palette is looking really nice. So regardless which palette I would get, I would be really happy, and I someday want really to try a Rowan quad, because I think there is something about those quads that are really drawing me in, and I saw so many YouTubers dragging and yeah, say so many good things about those quads that I really want to try them myself one day for sure. The other brand is Isamaya Beauty. I know with her lipsticks there are a little bit of discussions here and there. I think they're really funny. I don't know. I don't care about something like that. Maybe if they wouldn't be so pricey, I have to say, maybe I would buy me one. The newest one is, I think, a more rosy pinkish toned one. You know, I would just open it and put it right here, that it's looking nice and beautiful in my room, and everyone can see it and we can talk about it, have a conversation. It's just a funny thing to have, I think. And wouldn't it be so pricey, I think I would have bought me one. So that's that. And otherwise, I think her palettes are always looking so beautiful. I love her industrial palette. Stunning. I tried to dupe the vibes, and I think I did a good job with that. So I didn't have the feeling after that anymore that I need to grab it right away. But it's still on my mind, you know. I think it's a beautiful and stunning palette, and maybe one day, if it's not gone, because I think all of her palettes are always limited edition, but you know, they are there for some times, I have the feeling. So maybe I can still get my hand on this one day. If not, I also really like the Wild Star palette. I think this is also a beautiful and stunning palette, but if regardless which palette it will be, maybe a newer one, someday I really want to try a palette from her, because I think she really has a really beautiful way to introduce her palettes, to create her palettes, and how they are laid out, how the formulation is looking, at least for me. I think they're beautiful and right up my alley. So yeah, really want to try one day also Isamaya Beauty for sure. A brand I didn't wrote down but came to my mind right now that I really also want to try, Lisa Eldridge. She brought out beautiful palettes, and this is also a brand. I have her lipsticks. I love her lipsticks. One of my favorite lipstick formulations are her velvet lipsticks, for sure, hands down. Will buy me some more of them, of course, but I really also want to try her palettes. The palettes I really wanted are already sold out, and also many of her single shadows that you can create on your own are sold out, so I will maybe wait a little bit longer on that. But Lisa Eldridge is also a brand I really want to try her eyeshadow formulation for sure. And the last one is a brand I already knew and love, and it's Natasha Denona. I really want to try a little bit more of her palettes. I have, I think in the moment, 4 or something like that, or 5 palettes from her. But I really want to extend my collection step by step also for Natasha Denona, because I think her palettes are also drawing me really in sometimes, and I think they're beautiful. Today I also wear Natasha Denona, and the palette I'm wearing today is my Zendo palette. This palette got some mixed reviews, but I have to say, guys, I really like it for what it is. I think it's a beautiful palette. I have many shades on my eyes. I think I started with the shade Mindful all over my lid, this beautiful creamy brownish shade. Then I tapped Aura into the middle portion of my lid and also a little bit of luster over it. And luster is also in my inner corner, and I dragged it in the middle portion of my lid area. And the same thing I did for my lower lash line. I did Mindful all over it. In the middle portion I did Aura, and then I decided in the end, because I wear something blue, that I want something a little bit also blue in there. So on my lower lash line I did go in with Equilibrium and also a little bit with Flow. And yeah, this is most of the look that I have on. So I used really many colors, not intentionally, but I really wanted just to play a little bit with her stuff today. So I just did what I felt for in that moment. So yeah, this is what I have on my eyes if you're curious. Really love this palette. I think it's beautiful and stunning, and I really want to try more of her formulation. I don't know, it's always something about it that I really have the feeling that I want a little bit more, you know. I can't say why, but it's special, you know. It's not special, but I don't know. There's something about it. It's not even about the cream formulations, about her metallics. They're all beautiful, but you know, in the end I have something similar always to it, but regardless, they are drawing me in somehow. And we will see which palette I will get next from her, but for sure those palettes that I have right now won't be my last palettes from Natasha Denona. I really want to, extend my collection a little bit, try a little bit more from her, and have some fun with her palettes. I will pull up just 2 or 3 palettes that I'm eyeing right now, but in the end I'm eyeing really much everything from Natasha Denona as well. And yeah, I think she is also a stunning makeup artist. Really like her style, really like her palettes, and I really want to try just a little bit more. So guys, I will go again a little bit more to the middle because we are done. We are finished with this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, when it comes down to it, like I told you, eyeshadow palettes are the best thing ever for me. Eyeshadows in general, but mostly eyeshadow palettes. They are getting me the most excited. I love to have them. I love to see the vision of the makeup artist in the moment, of the creator of those palettes. I don't know, I always have fun when I get a new palette in my collection. And I also love all my old palettes that I have, of course. Love them all equally, and I'm really happy that I have a good amount of the things that I love. And yeah guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I would be really happy if you consider to subscribe this channel. Also give me a thumbs up that I know that you like this kind of content, and maybe click on the little bell that you get notifications here and there when I'm posting something new. And with that being said guys, it was so much fun to film this video. Don't worry, it did get noticed, of course. You love Pat McGrath, I know that. You love her as much as I do. We all love Pat, or the most of us at least love Pat McGrath, and I will of course do in the next couple of weeks or something like that, I will do my favorite eyeshadows from Pat. I will do that. I will do a video around that. I think it's a stunning and really good idea, and I think in the back of my mind I know my favorites. So if you're curious about that, please keep on with this channel, keep watching my videos. And with that being said, guys, I would say we will see each other in my next video. Until then, bye.